man, we'll slip on over to old UGA, the Dogs. Talk
Yeah.
about the Dogs here, man. What is a position that you're looking at going into this spring and even into fall camp, thinking about, man, this really could hurt or make Georgia? What's the position you're thinking of?
Well, the thing that I kind of have just circled, and something like we have an ongoing theme of like keeps us up at night, is just the wide receiver group for us. Like I could go on about defense. We lost a lot of guys on defense. We lost C.J. Allen at linebacker. We lost some pretty good guys in the secondary. But as long as Kirby Smart is our coach, I don't feel like I'm going to worry about defense. I honestly feel like I'm always going to be able to think, okay, Kirby Smart's got us. He's got those guys in there that he wants, and we'll be okay on defense, whether that be the front guys on the line, whether that be the linebackers or whether that be the safeties, because we have a guy in Khalil Barnes coming out of Clemson. He's going to come in and be a plug-and-play guy. I think he's going to contribute day one, and he's going to be okay. But the position group that keeps me up is wide receiver because and I know a tight end isn't a wide receiver, but we did lose Oscar Delp. We kept Lawson Lucky. He's still there, but Oscar Delp is gone. Oscar Delp is gone alongside Dylan Bell, Zachariah Branch, Noah Thomas, and Colby Young.
No.
That accounted for 90% of Georgia's offense this year.
Wow.
On as far as like passing the ball.
Yeah.
So that kind of worries me because you got London Humphreys, who is the only other guy that had the big catch against Tennessee. He kind of kept us in that game. If it wasn't for his catch in the end zone there on 4th and 6, when I probably would have went for the 6 yards, but they went for the touchdown and London Humphreys caught that ball and kind of got us into that overtime position. London Humphreys did. So we got London Humphreys coming back, and really that's about the only guy I can think of. You got London Humphreys, and you've got a guy in Georgia Tech. This is a guy that we got out of the transfer portal, Isaiah Canyon, who really I don't know much about. But you got London Humphreys, Isaiah Canyon, and you got Lawson Lucky, of course, which is in the tight end role. And Nate Frazier, obviously the running back, he might get some passes out on the.
We know Bobo's going to get his screens in, man. We know they're going to get.
Yeah. He may utilize. Yeah, and he may utilize. He might utilize Nate Frazier in that screen role this year rather than Zachariah Branch, because Zachariah Branch was that guy in the screen role. I mean, man, you could flip it out to him and he'll make a play that should go for 5 yards, go for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the role for me that just really, really worries me, because our offensive line will be okay. We lost our left tackle, but we have almost everybody else. Drew Bobo is back. Our 2 guards are back. I think our right tackle and our left tackle left, but we played in those guys all year. We rotated those guys all year. So the left tackle, right tackle will be okay. But on the offensive side of the ball, that's definitely what worries me. I think tight end will be okay. Running back, quarterback, all those positions will be okay. But and the defense as a whole, like I say, I kind of have faith, or not faith, I shouldn't say, but I definitely have some confidence in Kirby Smart being a defensive guy. He will be just fine. But yeah, man, that wide receiver role is pretty scary to me, because Gunnar Stockton, whether he's a great quarterback or not in some people's eyes, I think he's a good quarterback, and I'm very happy to have him on our team. But yeah, I don't know who's going to be his go-to guy. Zachariah Branch was that this past year. Noah Thomas had 2 touchdown catches in the Texas game, so he was a big-time role in that game, and Lawson Lucky was a big target for Gunnar. But yeah, the other guys coming in, I don't know, man. That's what worries me, is the wide receiver role.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about it too. I mean, with all those guys that are leaving, one of the biggest things you think about, especially in the Bobo offense, is that those receivers have to be blocking receivers. With how many screens he likes to run. I mean, they have to be able to block. So with these new guys coming in, man, you got to find that physicality right off the bat.
Yeah.
You can't wait. You got to find that physicality, and you got to be able to go out and catch the ball. I mean, because you can't just have a guy that's great at blocking that can't catch very well, and you also can't have somebody that can go out and get the ball that can't block.
Yeah.
So you have to find that happy mix in those wide receiver room.
The certain type of offense that Bobo likes to run, you're exactly right, man. They've got to be able to block and catch and be able to do all these things. And I really hope that Kirby has recruited guys that is able to do that. But yeah, I don't know who's going to be the next man up. We went out and got a guy from Georgia Tech, which I guess Kirby liked what he saw from him when we played him, played those guys. But we got him and we got Landon Humphreys, and that's about all that I can think of are those two guys at the wide receiver position that Gunner's going to have to go to. And obviously Lawson Lucky, he's big on hitting his tight end. So Lawson Lucky's going to be a big contributor there too. But yeah, that's about it. And we have Nate Frazier, of course, but I don't know how much he's going to be in the receiver role. I know he's going to be able to run the ball, but yeah, we have.
Well, you know what? I'll name drop some players here. Everybody knows Todd Gurley, right? Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, DeAndre Swift, Nate Frazier. I mean, Georgia is known for turning around running backs, and I foresee a running scheme next season when you've got a high caliber quarterback like Gunner Stockton. I mean, you've got to have some receivers to get the ball to. I mean, my God, what's going to happen? Like, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine having a quarterback like that and not be able to get the ball to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody to catch the ball. You've got to develop some receivers.
We had a guy in Sokovie White Helton who come in throughout the regular season, but he wasn't like a big-time contributor this season. He was a big-time recruit out of high school, but he wasn't like a contributor day one. So he's probably going to get the ball a lot more. I think that Isaiah Canyon from Georgia Tech will. And then obviously London Humphreys, who's still there. But yeah, man, aside from those three and then utilizing Lawson Lucky, I don't know, because like you say, you have great running backs come through Georgia all the time with those guys you just mentioned. But yeah, you can't really lean on the run game if you don't have a pass game.
Yeah, can I say this though? I really think something like a point that I'm just thinking about when I'm sitting here is that when you really think about Kirby Smart teams, okay, when you really sit there and think about it, has there really been, besides Ladd McConkey, that's the one I can really think about. And I may be wrong, but George Pickens, but he really wasn't all there. But has there really been that standout wide receiver that has really made that team? I mean, it seems like they're always really more reliant on the run game, and they just have people more or less at wide receiver to be almost, as you would say, a complementary to the run game. Just somebody that, hey, when we can't maybe run the ball, that we have a guy we can rely on and we can throw it to. You know what I'm saying? That really feels like how Kirby is. It's not really been like the Julio Jones and A.J. Greens. Or, it never had all those studs, like a Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, like when you got those wide receivers, Jamison Williams, you don't have that guy, I don't feel like, at Georgia. Even over the past few years, I feel like it's been like with Stetson Bennett, my biggest thing was about him when he was playing with Georgia is that he would just hit the right spots. I think Gunner at the end of the season was definitely doing that. I mean, when you guys played Alabama, I hate to go back to Alabama, but like when you guys played Alabama that second time, he played a role in that game that was just like not trying to be the reason that they won. He was trying not to be the reason that they lose, if that makes sense. He just said, I'm going to take what the defense gives me. And if he has that mentality this whole year, not to go out and be like, I'm going to make myself a number one overall pick, a Heisman Trophy winner, all those other things. And he just says, I want to go out and win a national title. I'll do whatever it takes to do that. That really could set Georgia apart. To just say, if we have to run the ball, we'll run the ball. If it has to be a game like he played, I mean, really, they probably should have won that game against Ole Miss the second time around. That kid played his absolute tail off. And hitting people on the run. If you remember that one play to Colby Young, dude, he got lit up right in the chin. He got it right over that linebacker to Colby Young, and he went streaking down the field. If he can play like that and just make plays when it counts and make plays when he has to and just take what the defense gives you, man, this team's going to be fine no matter really who's at wide receiver.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but there's guys like Mike Bobo alluded to that a lot. He said, I wish that he wants Gunner Stockton to open it up like he does at practice. He said Gunner Stockton lets it fly at practice. He'll drop back in the pocket and throw those 40-yard, 50-yard deep balls, but he doesn't really do that in the game. He doesn't do that much at all. Like when he hit Cash Jones when he got lit up, and it was on a targeting call that I felt like might have should have been called, considering Georgia got called with a targeting against Ole Miss later in that game. But yeah, he got lit up in that play, but still flipped it over to Cash Jones, and Cash Jones got it on the 1-yard line. Then guess who stood up? Guess who lined back up right under center and punched the ball in after that? Gunnar Stockton, the guy that drives an F-250 with 300,000 miles on it. I mean, the guy's just—he's like I say, man. He's just all go, man. When it comes to Georgia, he's gonna risk his life out there. But yeah, that's
I feel like
what
he'd be the guy out there with a broken leg, man. I remember watching the SEC title game. I've never seen somebody get his kappa detated like he wasn't going to go on it. His eyes were looking both ways.
Yeah.
He got up and just next play. It was like, man, that's crazy. That dude had just go about him.
And that's mentality. That's the type of mentality that guy has. That guy has the mentality of, hey, I'm here for Georgia. I'm not here for my health. I'm not here for if I have a concussion or not. I'm going to line back up and I'm going to make this next play happen. But yeah, you're right, man. It does seem you're right about what you said. It does seem like that Georgia hasn't had those big time receivers. When they do have big time receivers, they utilize them the way they can. But yeah, they're just pound the rock. They're run the ball first, and then they lean on their receivers afterwards. But that's why I think hopefully they'll be okay with the receiving core they have coming in.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that they're no-name receivers either. I don't want to be like disrespectful, but they practically are. It's just another player out there in a Georgia jersey that's going to go out and make it happen. Yeah. I mean, like you said earlier about the linebackers at Alabama or Tennessee, if you are recruited to come to the University of Georgia and play wide receiver, you're not bad.
Yeah, you're going to be a great receiver.
You're going to be a great receiver. You're elite. Yeah. So we know that. We know they're going to have that talent. But I can see where you're coming from, man. Like if we don't have somebody step up to the plate, I guess it's more or less because of what you've seen with Zachariah Branch. Because you've seen the potential. Man, if we have a stud wide receiver, imagine what we can be.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest reason. It's like we got to find the next guy because we have 1 year with a great one.
And Zachariah Branch being the great receiver he was, he never had at least to my memory, I haven't looked this up for sure, but he never had a deep ball. That guy was kind of like the end around type guy, or he was the screen guy, and maybe he was the get gunner out of trouble guy, and he would get open if he needed to, but he never had like the deep ball like that. Yeah. Colby Young had a few.
How fast he was.
Yeah, he was, which he ran a 4.36 at the combine, and also bench press, which is something we need to touch base on here. He hit 225, and he's a 180-pound receiver, 5'10", 180 pounds. He hit 225 20 times. That's insane. That is insane. For a wide receiver to bench press 225 20 times is just unreal. I don't know what the wide receiver record is, but that's gotta be up there. I mean, there's offensive linemen out there that barely repping 20.
Hey, calm down. But yeah, you're right, man. I mean, that's wild. I mean, that just goes to show you, man, he was a different cat. And that's what last week I called him Isaiah Branch all the time. I don't know why, but yeah, Zachariah Branch. Good player, man. And
his brother, Zion Branch, he's still on Georgia's roster. So hopefully he's the one that's kind of giving us some help at the linebacker position. But yeah, like I say, I'm more concerned about the receiver position at Georgia, mainly because I think that the linebacker position, the safety position, the corner position, and then the front line for Georgia's defense, I don't have to worry about it too much because as long as Kirby Smart's there, he'll have it figured out. Whether it be Glenn Schumann at defensive coordinator or whether it be me at defensive coordinator, Kirby Smart's going to have it figured out.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Michael. Are you staying on the Mike Bobo train, or is it Mike Bobo's got to go?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how this season unfolds. But man, I think his offensive scheme was okay. And there were times that every Georgia fan on the planet and every guy that's going to tune into this show would probably thought the same thing. Man, Mike Bobo, what are you thinking? That was a horrible call. And I said that more times than 10. but
We know.
but I feel like
poke the bear there for a minute. You know.
But I don't know. I feel like as long as Kirby Smart has confidence in those guys, then yeah, I have to. Because he even said that my coordinators and my coaches that are under me are an extension of me. So if you don't think they're a great coach, you don't think I'm a great coach. And I'm riding with Kirby. I hope he coaches at Georgia another 20 years. Although I don't know if he's going to, but
Right.
Well, see, what I'm sitting here thinking, I'm not batting my tongue because I know in your mind, and I know so many other Georgia fans that when they heard they got a raise, we got to get some deductions.
Yeah. Well, and that's how I felt a little bit because there was some times that it just felt like, what are we doing, man? And the defense really, the later part of the season last year, they kind of showed up in a way that I was really happy about. And the offense did too. The offense done what they needed to do when they needed to win. Like Texas rolled it into Sanford Stadium. And everybody thought, oh, man, big bad Texas. They're coming to beat Georgia finally because they haven't beat them since they've been in the SEC. Georgia's offense executed exactly the way they needed to for that game. So, and I was happy that Bobo executed that way. So, to me, it's just I guess we'll see how this season unwinds. And I don't know if I'm going to go to Georgia's G-Day or not. But I know, like I say, we've talked about going to the orange and white game, which will be fun. But yeah, I don't know if we're doing the G-Day, but I would like to see kind of who they've got out there at the wide receiver position.
Be honest with me, Michael. When you heard Bobo got that bonus or extension, I know you had to think, man, is there nothing else better we could spend that money on? Or
Yeah, well, I didn't
Get a wide receiver.
right, get a
Yeah, could we not go out in the portal and spend that money on a top tier wide receiver? Yeah, you're right, but yeah, I think. Like we had guys like Todd Monken, who's still at the Ravens, or I don't know.
He's at the Browns. He's head coach of the Browns.
Yeah, he got the head coaching job, and that guy had our offense clicking. And Mike Bobo was an assistant under him. So I don't know. A lot of Georgia fan bases, man, they have a bad taste in their mouth about Mike Bobo, stemming way back before Kirby Smart. You know, they didn't like him when Mark Richt was there.